Right, so welcome back to another Am I Overreacting video. This one is another toxic relationships edition.
Every day I wake up and I hope you're dead!
And I think, having just read the headlines of the posts coming up, particularly the ones at the end, this might be the most extreme one yet. So yeah, there's your warning. Now let's jump into it. All right, first up, am I overreacting over this small prank? Oh my goodness, is that a tracking device? Annoying. Does it play sound? So I, a 22-year-old woman, have been with my boyfriend, a 25-year-old man, for a little over a year and a half. Recently, we've been running into hurdles because I've been feeling like he's been bothering, teasing, poking, and biting me more than being a serious, loving partner to me. So for context, I mean making weird noises all the time, referencing Italian brain rot, or groping me randomly, even if I'm in the middle of a sentence, and talking about something serious, when I would prefer active listening, loving touch, and unironic quality time. Okay, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear. We had a huge conversation about this recently as I was on the brink of ending things with him since the lack of warmth relative to his unseriousness was making me feel empty. Since then, there has been a genuine effort and big improvement, and I was starting to feel very hopeful that this was something we could work through. Okay, nice to see a bit of communication. You said what you want, they gave it back. Good to hear. I feel it, however, coming on though. So fast forward a little, and I'm starting a new job as an educator, and while I'm very excited about it, it's also a huge adjustment and has been really stressful. On top of that, for the past 6 days, I've been hearing this bizarre beeping noise coming from my closet that chirps once every like 20 to 40 minutes, driving me nuts. Get George Clarke on the case.
Trying to find this incredibly annoying beep, part 4. Bloody hell.
He's cracked the garage, now it's time for the closet. No, not crack like that. No, it's time for him to crack the closet. Figure it out, you know what I mean. Also, I was right, it was a noise-making thing. It makes sense, annoying PCB. I couldn't figure out what it was. It was keeping me up and infiltrating my dreams. And it started to freak me out since nothing I own makes that sound. Nothing in the closet even had a battery in it, just a low hum. Something's on and vibrating in there, I can feel it. Not feel it enough, sadly.
Cheeky.
Okay, no, anyway. And from my overall stress and lack of good sleep, I was starting to grow paranoid that someone had planted a device in my room. Less paranoid than you might think, perhaps. To add to this, I'm extremely private, and the only people who are regularly in my room are myself and my boyfriend when he visits. This led me to fearing that my boyfriend was secretly stalking me and had planted a mic or something in my room that was starting to make noise. I had zero reason to believe this and I had 100% trust in him, but I was starting to go crazy. It even happened while I was talking with my therapist, and when I explained the mystery of its origins, she seemed equally concerned. To make matters worse, the fridge at work is broken and peeps 9 times every minute. Oh my goodness, how is this legal working conditions? So it started feeling like the chirping was following me, compounding my general distress. It's gonna send this poor lady off the rails. Last night, after a stressful day and finding out some unrelated, unsettling news that is enough to emotionally affect me on its own, my sister heard the noise as well, and we decided to tear my closet apart at 10 PM when I had to wake up at 6 to figure out what has been plaguing me. After timing the beeps for an hour, it beeped at irregular intervals, we found this tiny Arduino board. Arduino? What the hell is that? Deep in one of my boxes labelled annoying PCB as pictured. Arduino, oh okay, it's the hardware and software company. So it's the company that made the beeping device, got it. So yeah, Google the device. Its literal sole purpose is to drive its victims insane. I was immediately horrified, quite literally shaking and crying, as my wildest nightmare of someone planting a device in my room had literally come true. My immediate thought was, who would do something like this? What did I do to deserve this? I called my boyfriend immediately and he admitted he knew what it was. I hung up and haven't spoken to him since. As in, he knew what the device was once you told him, or he knew what it was. He knew what was going on because he put it there. The reason I'm not sure if I'm overreacting is because on the one hand, I understand how this might be funny, but to me, that doesn't matter given A, the fact that I've been feeling like he hasn't generally been serious with me to a problematic extent, and B, the fact that this has been plaguing me and disrupting my sleep literally the first week of my new job, and C, I've been complaining to him about it for days, and he played along being confused and concerned, repeatedly asking me, what does it sound like? And even dismissing my genuine concern and paranoia, saying maybe there's a little cricket in your room. This is what I was going to ask. how much he knew. Because if she was kind of like losing her mind at it a little bit and he was oblivious and she hadn't said anything yet, then it's way less forgivable than if she had been like, this is not, this thing is plaguing my life. This is driving me insane. And he was just like, I don't care. Like laughing to himself still, finding the whole thing hilarious. I mean, not that if she hadn't said anything, it would be fine for him to still be playing pranks like this, given, you know, what she said about him needing to be more serious. But the fact that he knew all of this about the new job and how much it was plaguing her and still didn't say anything, that is genuinely insane. He's been tormenting her. I just just feel like this is on par with glitter bombing. I think this is worse. At least glitter bombing is like annoying for a minute and then you tidy it up. Actually, glitter lasts longer than a minute. That's very annoying, but at least that's a one-off. This is like repeated harassment, torture. It's like Chinese water torture. It's the consistent over and over repetitiveness of it. Yeah, like this is something you do to someone you hate. Oh, maybe glitter bombing is even worse than I thought. Okay. Not the supposed love of your life. It feels like psychological warfare. It kind of is. And between stretching this out for days and planting it in my room, this feels like a massive breach of trust. It is. I haven't spoken to him at all, and he's been texting me saying things like, it was just a prank, and beep, 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 and I miss you, and please don't ignore me. Read the room. Beep, 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 beep. Are you joking? And I'm so against stonewalling, but I've literally nothing to say to him, and he hasn't apologized or shown any remorse. This guy is sick in the head. He does not love you. I don't feel ready to speak to him at all. Maybe it was a good prank with bad timing, but I can't help but feel like this is just setting us back again, and I'm genuinely shaken. I honestly don't see a future at this point, and I'm not really sure what to do. If you read this far, thank you for listening, and I appreciate any advice or kindness. I think it's like you've had the chat with him. You've been like, you're pranking me and teasing me too much. I want more love and affection. And then like, you know, maybe if he pulled a one-off prank, you're like, okay, you're still kind of doing it. When I said less pranks, rein it in even more, maybe. But this is so far. This without the chat, the preliminary chat, is weird. The fact that you've had the preliminary chat as well, and you've been like, I don't want this in our relationship, and he's doing it anyway. Yeah, you're drastically misaligned. You need to leave this guy, in my opinion. What do the comments say though? Let me give you advice as someone who's been on the receiving end of this. Someone who has your safety, mental health, and trust in one hand, and the ability to entertain themselves at that expense of another human being in the other, and they choose the second one. They are letting you know where you stand in their life. You are clearly suffering from this for multiple reasons, and he kept going. It was entertainment to him to watch you be scared and confused. The fact that he's sending you beeping messages and kicking a circle in the dirt going sorry, well, okay, didn't enjoy that, but you're making a good point, so I shall continue. While taking no accountability speaks volumes. He's not worth being with anymore. You deserve better than a partner that will torture you for their entertainment. The decision to soothe yourself with cruelty is an informed one. Damn. Dryden with a philosophical quote, and he kind of sounds like a philosopher as well. Diogenes and Dryden. What great adventures they would have had together. But yeah, you are not this guy's priority. Get out of there. Not overreacting. And as always, we're going to be tallying the overreactors against the not overreactors to get a score at the end so we can compare. And for now, it's 1-0 to the not overreactors. All right, next up. Am I overreacting for breaking up with him for using AI to apologize and calling me fat? As in using AI to apologize for calling you fat? Or he used AI to apologize and also used AI to call you fat? Let's find out. Okay, his name's Leo, and he's got, is that Prince George? Oh, Prince Louis. I don't know my royal family members. Sue me. And anyway, why is that his profile picture? That's so bizarre. Or she set that. Anyway, I digress. Listen, baby, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to upset you. Well, I don't forgive you. You made a fool out of me in that restaurant. I wasn't even eating that much, just some chicken. Calling me fat in front of all of our friends is really disrespectful and uncalled for. I know I was just making a joke. Shut the hell up. Okay, now that was uncalled for. Oh, now we're getting sensitive, are we? Telling you to shut the hell up is uncalled for, but fat shaming your own girlfriend isn't. I'm done with you. Baby, no, that's not what I meant. Please reply. You make me feel shit about my appearance. I don't want you in my life. I'm truly sorry for what I said at the restaurant. Calling you fat, even as a joke. This is where the AIs come in. I can already tell because of the M-dash. Calling you fat, even as a joke, was completely out of line. I realise now how hurtful and disrespectful it was, and I can't stop thinking about how awful it must have made you feel. I should have protected your feelings, not been the one to hurt them. You mean so much to me, more than I can put into words, and I hate that I made you doubt even for a second how beautiful you are. You're incredible, inside and out, and I should have shown that through kindness, not thoughtless humour. I take full responsibility for what I said, and I promise I'll do better. No more careless jokes, no more making you feel small. You deserve to be loved loudly and treated gently, always. I love you, and I hope you can forgive me. My goodness, when was this post? 10 months ago. I mean, I know AI overdoes it with the M-dashes, but the number here is ridiculous. AI generated piece of shit. I don't forgive you. What the hell? Couldn't you type out an apology yourself? It's not AI, what? That is so obviously not your texting style. You don't care about me one bit and you always call me ugly and fat. I'm breaking up with you. Baby, no! Shut the hell up! Oh my goodness, what a dramatic end. It's just so unhuman, isn't it? All of it. I mean, so far I'm thinking pretty valid. Okay, there's a bit of text accompanying it. So I, a 24-year-old woman, have been dating this guy, a 23-year-old guy, for about 6 years now. We met in college and moved in together just a little while ago. Ever since then, he's made various comments about my appearance and gets jealous when I'm simply talking to another guy. He always does this, apologizes, and then does it again. the AI part was genuinely unacceptable. It really ticked me off. Couldn't you have just put a little soul into apologizing? I need help. Am I overreacting? I mean, like, I was thinking early on with the joke, like, some people could make that joke and be like, and just not think how it's going to affect the other person. Like, some people's humor is to roast someone. And if she was like, that's the first time he did it, I'd be like, okay, I mean, he shouldn't make a fat joke at your expense in front of other people. But if that's his sense of humor and he didn't know that you'd find that inappropriate, you know, I'm not saying break up with him, you know, he can apologize. I think you'd be right to forgive him, or at least fair and reasonable. But the fact that he does it a lot and apologizes, so he does something, apologizes, so he knows it's wrong, he knows it upsets you, and then does it again, that makes it so much worse. At that point, it's not like he made a joke, can I get over it? Or, you know, like, am I being too sensitive? It's like, do I want to be in a relationship with someone who, when I set a boundary, just continues to break it and evidently doesn't seem to care? And as well, with using the AI thing, that's just a cherry on top. Like, he already doesn't care evidently that he upsets you because he keeps doing it, but he evidently doesn't care to the extent that he can't even be bothered to, I mean, I don't even think he should be apologizing over text anyway. This is the kind of thing where he should be apologizing in person. I mean, you moved in together, you live together. If he's upset you, the least he could do is apologize in person. But to not only text, but text using an AI copied message is ridiculous. Yeah, I don't think you're overreacting at all. Why would you want to be in a relationship with someone like that? What do the comments say? I'm very sorry about the whole thing and I only wish you the best in life, but I looked at his profile picture right after reading the baby no message, and what can I say? It just fits too well. Oh yeah, baby no! Not overreacting, and that AI apology is the nail in the coffin. Yeah, that's clear AI. If we're arguing, your response contains a long dash, the next thing you'll witness is a block. Not overreacting, you're better off without this dude. Yeah, I agree. Easy not overreacting for me, which makes it 2-0 to the not overreactors. All right, next up. Am I overreacting for thinking I need to break up with my girlfriend? I keep calling you boob. What? What? Why is she message saying boob? Is that an insult? Is that an offer? It's edited as well, so that's a correction. Maybe she meant boo. Anyway, sorry, my phone was charging and I'm eating. I'm not in the best mood and I don't really want to talk on the phone right now. I feel like if we do and I don't talk a bunch, you'll get annoyed and it will just start a fight. I just said I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I'm in the phone. I'm guessing she called in this gap here. He's like, I don't want to call. She called and he's like, I just said I don't want to. She said, I'm alone. I don't want to talk on the phone right now, babe. Okay, so you're not going to respect that? I'm guessing she called again. Answer my call. She did. What the hell is wrong with you? Why can't you listen to me when I say I don't want to talk right now? Answer my call. What is wrong with you? You can't listen to me when I say I don't want to talk on the phone right now, or try to get that I'm not in a great mood. I will have someone relieve you. Relive you? What the hell is she trying to say there? Relieve you of duties? You're a piece of shit. I'll have someone take care of my animals. Leave and take care of yourself. You a-hole. Let me know when you leave. Are you joking me? You're a piece of shit. It's very obviously not a joke. I'll have my mum come and get my dogs. Maybe it is relieve you of dog sitting duties? But we're done. Never speak to me again. You are awful. Wow, I can't be in a bad mood and voice that to you. No, you cannot. Wow. Learn a lesson, you piece of shit. Literally go screw yourself. I hate you. Why do you think it's okay to talk to me like that? You have 5 minutes to make things better or else I'm going to text my mother and this relationship is over. Over. Never speak to me again. Over. She's using a walkie-talkie here for text-to-speech. Make things better. And another threat, of course. You're overreacting so much right now. If you don't want to date me, then tell me to leave. And again, get your mum involved. 2 minutes. This is the kind of countdown thing my dad does to my little sisters. He'll be like, tidy up. And they'll be like, no. And he'll go 5, 4. And even me as a full-grown adult, I'm like, damn, I still remember what that was like as a kid. That's terrifying. And even if they're feeling bold, he's like 3, 2. He gets to 2 and they just run off. Giving a countdown. Wait, also, I just clocked as well. Or else I'm going to text my mother. Is also like a thing you do when you're a kid to your siblings. Oh, or else I'm going to tell mum. What is going on? These are adults, right? What the hell? 2 minutes. For what? You're a piece of shit for not being able to talk because you're in a bad mood. Are you going to address this? Tell her I hate you. Okay, you're in your world and I don't want to be in it. I'll text my mum. Leave my house. Never speak to me again. Are you kidding me? Why do you go so extreme? You can't talk to me, so there's nothing else to do. You overreact so much. You're so sad. You can't answer my call. Talk about overreacting. Go screw yourself. No, I guess I'm not allowed to be sad or grieve and actually voice that to you and tell you I don't want to talk right now. Go screw yourself. Yeah, that proves it. You can only say mean things. So I should leave. You're serious. You're done with this relationship. I hate you. We're done. Go screw yourself. You're a piece of shit. Wow, you're awful. I hate you. Yeah, it's clear you don't love me. I got it. You can't answer my FaceTime. You don't care about anyone. Why can't you talk to me? You're shit. Go screw yourself. I'll find any other human that always wants to talk to me. Go screw yourself. Be alone. You're awful. No one will ever love you. You're awful. You are so mean. You're miserable. Just leave and I'll call my mum. There's no way you love me and can be this mean. This is what happens after me voicing that I'm not in a good place and need a moment. You are so mean. I'm not being mean. I'm not calling you names. You have a phone and you wouldn't answer. I'm trying to explain what I'm going through. Go screw yourself and why I need a moment. I hate you. But you don't care. I hate you. I hate you. You're the reason this happened. You couldn't answer because you were so sad. Go screw yourself. Be alone. Literally no one will ever love you because you suck. I hate you. You're so mean. Did you call your mum? Or what's the deal? You aren't doing anything to make it better. You don't care. You're the one saying extremely hurtful things. You're the one who couldn't answer my call. This is your fault. Entirely your fault. No, Iranian. You are the... Is that her name? That's a cool name. You are the problem. It's not. Why can't you realize that? You are the problem. You're being so mean, so insanely mean. Go watch the video of your parents. Go cry with the news. Okay, we're going to need context for that in a minute. You would never talk to someone you actually love like this. Screw you. Of course, making fun of me grieving. I thought that was what it was going to be. Maybe OP's parents passed away and it was on the news. I got it. You're done with this. Okay, so the context. My partner and I have been in a rocky situation for a little bit now. Rocky. This is like pretty heavy abuse. This is way beyond Rocky. Just arguing over dumb things. One of my biggest issues is that when she's mad, she's extremely mean. She is, especially when she's mad and has been drinking. This happened last night. Oh, does it say what time it is? No, it doesn't. For context, I've been watching our animals for the last 4 days while she's on a family trip. My brother passed a little over a year ago. He was killed by a drunk driver. I'm very much still in the grieving process and I might always be. I'd gotten something shipped that was made from a memorial we did, and there was also an article recently released about him, so I was going through it at the time she called, literally sitting crying, just grieving and letting it happen as my therapist says I should do, and let it happen when it comes. I was gonna say the messages seem very passive. They weren't very combative at all, just going like, you're mean, you're horrible and you do this. Not that I'm like blaming OP, but I was like surprised that they weren't going like, I'm done with this, you know, like stop talking to me, I'm blocking you, or like, this is too mean, I'm done, you know, it was just very repetitively like just kind of taking it and just, yeah, letting it happen, which I'm guessing the therapist meant to do with the grief, like let it happen, let it come over you. But I don't think the therapist meant that in terms of the abuse, just like passively let the messages happen. And also definitely not saying that as in like it was a negative thing for OP to let it happen. OP absolutely did nothing wrong. I just wonder if the approach to the grief influenced the approach to the relationship. Anyway, I texted her saying I wasn't in a good mood, the first screenshot, and don't want to talk right now, and then this happened. She called so many times demanding I answered. She claimed it's my fault because I couldn't answer a phone and was ignoring it. The screenshots aren't the entire conversation, but you can get the concept from them. This behaviour is extremely alarming to me. Whilst it's not frequent, it has happened before to this level a few times or so. Bloody hell. This morning she texted me expecting me to apologise again. I apologised last night saying I could have communicated better. Could you? You just said I'm not in the mood to talk. Whilst literally grieving a family, your brother. That is fine communication. She took my text as if I didn't want to talk to her at all, whereas in reality I just needed a moment to gather myself and grieve. I mean, it's one of those things, isn't it? Like, okay, fair enough if you had said, I don't want to talk right now, I'm grieving, maybe she would have understood a little better. But you should feel in a relationship like you can be like, hey, I'm not in the mood to talk for whatever reason. Maybe just for that reason itself, you're just not in the mood. And you should expect your partner to be like, okay, fair enough, we'll speak later. Maybe throw in like oh, I hope you're okay. Is there anything I can do? You know, if you're sad, I'm here for you, whatever you need. You certainly don't expect them to start having a go at you and making it out as if you've done something wrong for not wanting to speak to them. After I asked, she gave a half-ass apology about how she treated me and what she said, and said that none of it was true, which I don't believe since she repeated herself over and over. She's still saying if I would have just answered the phone, none of this would have happened. This is not your fault. Is that true? Oh, this is actually kind of sad. When people, because like this is just gaslighting, isn't it? Like he's in an emotional state. I mean, I'm assuming it's a guy. I don't think he actually said, but yeah, he's evidently in this state of like grief, like going through a lot. And it sounds like she's kind of like pulling the wool over his eyes, like making him actually doubt whether he is in the wrong. I'm glad he posted it to Reddit, because I feel like when you're like, oh, is this true? Am I in the wrong? Like if I had just answered the phone, like, no, I'm glad you got the internet. Well, hopefully, let's read the comments. But I'm glad you got the internet to be like, You did not need to pick up the phone. Like, you don't owe that to her. Yeah, you have 5 minutes where I'm telling mom you're dating a child. So bizarre. That's exactly what I thought. And when I didn't do whatever in 5 minutes, she just said again. I honestly think she was drunk or drinking yesterday. She was going to have her mum come get her animals. I told her several times to let me know when she'll be there. I was going to talk to her mum and say, I'm sorry you're in the middle of this. I don't hate your daughter, but she does need help. And you do know what she's like and how she acts. And then show her the text. But of course, didn't call her mum. It's all a mind game. Okay, it sounds like OP is more aware of it at least. This is horrific. You do not deserve to be treated like this. No one does. Literally, all you did was say you needed some time to yourself and she absolutely lost it. Not only did she lose it at you, she actively tried her best to hurt you. And that's just not something a loving, caring partner does. And that remark she made about you going to grieve with your parents in news, bruh, that was so uncalled for. I don't care how drunk she was. That is so out of bounds. Do you have somewhere else you can go? I agree, and it's not the first time something like that has happened. Yeah, luckily we don't fully live together yet and I still have my own house. Last night, after she treated me like this, I played it on the safe side and packed all my clothes. I don't have a bunch of stuff there, to be honest. And I left early this morning, took all my stuff to my house along with my dog. Damn, that is so incredibly dark, but okay, I'm glad OP left. And I hope they stayed left. I hope they stayed gone. Because you can imagine someone like this messaging, being like, oh, you're leaving after that. Oh, you're weak and pathetic. Like more gaslighting. Like she's already tried to make it as if it was OP's fault. The argument, 100%, she's going to try and blame OP for them leaving. Oh yeah, could have choose them. But yeah, this is so unbelievably toxic. I don't even know where to begin. Hope you got out of there and hope you're safe and far, far away from this crazy person. And I hope when you left, they were like, damn, maybe I need some help, and they got it. But yeah, as far as the post goes, another very easy not overreacting. By the way, these are some pretty deep, dark topics with a lot of information in them, and a lot of that is going to bring out some quite strong reactions in people. And so I just wanted to remind you guys, you are very welcome to disagree. Sometimes people apologize and say like, oh, I'm sorry, but I think you're wrong here. Sometimes people maybe get a bit frustrated being like, I can't believe you saw it like that. I just wanted to let you know that as long as you're doing it in a respectful way and your opinions are reasonable, and it might not even just be a case if you think my opinion's wrong. I might be factually wrong. I might have missed some facts in the thing. Like I said, there's a lot of information in there. Sometimes I'll misread something or misremember something or skip over something accidentally. And so I hope in return you guys appreciate that I'm also trying to be reasonable and respectful and see things from all points of view. And yeah, I just have to accept that I'm definitely not going to get it right all the time. And as you really find it interesting when people disagree with me and back it up, I think when people go, oh, you're wrong and this is why, I really enjoy reading those comments. So I love reading the comments in the actual post because I'm like, oh, I wonder if I could actually change my mind. Sometimes I won't say whether I think someone's overreacting or not reacting or whether they're a-hole or not, because I'll be like, I wonder if the top couple of comments, I could be thinking one thing and then the comments could persuade me. And I don't think there's anything wrong with changing your mind when presented with a compelling viewpoint. No shame in being like, you know what, maybe I was wrong on that one. Also, just before we move on to the next couple of posts, just want to say, if you like videos like this, if you watch them a lot and you haven't already, please consider subscribing down below. First of all, I mean, it would just really mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate it. And second of all, next time I do a video just like this one, it means you can catch it on your homepage. And if you have notifications on, you catch it as soon as it's out. But yeah, if you're enjoying the video, please do hit subscribe. Very much appreciated, and hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. But this video isn't over, so let's get back to it. And also, actually, just another word of warning for the final couple of posts. They've already been quite dark to begin with. I think these two take things to the next level. So I just wanted to give a quick heads up that they do contain themes surrounding consent issues in terms of intimacy and physical violence. I'm aware that information might be useful to some when deciding if they want to continue. So, am I overreacting? Girlfriend put Viagra in my drink without telling me. This is, I'm guessing, a text from the girlfriend. You don't understand how much I feel. I'm very empathetic. Even when I don't agree with your point of view, I understand it. Self-proclaimed empath, okay. Can sometimes be a bit of a red flag for a narcissist, so let's see where this goes. I know you felt emasculated and hurt that I was putting something in your drink. That was wrong of me. Wow, phenomenal empathy skills. Even if it wasn't vitamins, I shouldn't have done it. I honestly caved in, and I was talking to someone about seeing you that day and how tired you were probably going to be, and her boyfriend overheard, and long story short, they gave me that package. They told me to crush it and put it in your drink. And I did. It's okay. I forgive you for valuing sex more than my feelings that night. I'm also very good at detecting sarcasm. I think there's a little bit there. I didn't value sex more than your feelings. You didn't drink it and we had sex a couple of times and I stopped initiating sex. No, that's exactly what you did. The fact that I didn't drink it is irrelevant. You have absolutely no idea how messed up that was and are just now apologizing for it. If I'd done that to you and you went to PSU, I'd be fired and in jail right now. I would never have gone to PSU. That's your response? I would have never dobbed you in. Okay, let's get the story. So this happened a while ago, but it still deeply bothers me. I've talked to a handful of my friends about it and their response is, dude, you must be gay. Or you lucky dog, what's the problem? Get better friends. Oh my God. So for context, my now ex-girlfriend, thank goodness for that, and I are both law enforcement for the same department. I work nights, she worked days, so our schedules were kind of hectic sometimes. She came to my apartment one night, and when I got home, she put boba tea in my hand and told me to drink it. I'm not a fan of boba, so I told her, thank you, that was sweet, but I'd rather have something else. She acted really disappointed and was being very adamant that I should drink it. I didn't want to make her feel bad since I thought she was just trying to do something nice for me, so I took a few sips and set it down. She picked it up off the counter, put it back in my hand and said, you need to drink all of it. I told her fine. We went to go lay down and watch a movie where I set the cup on my nightstand and I didn't touch it again. I wonder if this was already ringing alarm bells. Because like, why do you want me to drink this boba so bad? We ended up having sex a few times and at some point I got up and went to my kitchen to grab a drink. When I opened my trash can to throw something away, I saw a medication blister pack sitting on top of the garbage. At first I didn't think anything of it, but then I remembered how adamant she was about me finishing that drink and everything started to click. I picked it up and sure enough, it was a Viagra packaging. I immediately got this overwhelming feel of being violated. I don't know what to say, and I was honestly pretty hurt. So not wanting to let my immediate emotions lead me into saying something I would regret, I held my tongue and went to bed. The next day she texted me saying I seemed off, and I decided to confront her by asking about the drink. She initially denied it, but when I sent her a picture of the wrapper, she just responded with a kissing emoji, as if it was some sort of cute romantic act. It turned into a huge argument because she basically couldn't comprehend why this was bothering me so much, saying it's basically just vitamins, and that she originally got the idea from an episode of Bob's Burgers. What? If she didn't realise why it was such a big deal, she wouldn't have snuck it into his drink and denied it. But what finally sent me over the edge was the text above, where she thought I was mad because I was emasculated, and that her and her roommate, who's also a police officer, came up with the whole plan whilst I was at work, because I told her how busy my day was and how I couldn't wait to just lay down. And since she was worried I'd be too tired to have sex, her roommate's boyfriends gave her the pill. I tried to further explain my point by trying to reverse it and explain that if I'd done something similar to her and she reported it to PSU, the professional standards, which is just another way of saying internal affairs, I would have been fired and most likely arrested. Her response was basically saying, well, I would never report it, which I took as her beginning to get scared and trying to convince me not to. Didn't think about that, that's probably true. But also the fact that she just didn't address the rest of the stuff, being like, what a mental thing I did, I'm so sorry, I'm sick in the head. Like, how can I ever possibly make up this to you for this unbelievable violation? Our relationship ended soon after, when on a trip to Peru, a doctor used a guinea pig to absorb negative energy from her before sacrificing it to rid her of the negativity. And apparently the doctor told her the guinea pig said that I was a source of negativity in her life, and so she broke up with me. She broke up with him. That is so insane. Because of a doctor and a negative energy guinea pig.
It's so dumb.
I mean, this was incredibly weird and messed up to begin with, but I could never have predicted this. You could have given me 1,000 lifetimes to be like, what happened next? And I would not come close to that. They sacrificed the poor little guinea pig as well. Oh, in Peru they eat guinea pig, don't they? So hopefully at least it was eaten as food. Does that make it better? I guess rather than it dying for no reason, it's not going to get rid of the negativity. This lady is nuts. Anyhow, am I overreacting for letting this turn into such a big problem, or is she genuinely just trying to make a romantic gesture? This is a bigger problem than I think you're making it out to be. The stuff about the overwhelming feeling of being violated, that's the accurate stuff. That's the most accurate reaction. The rest of it seems like quite an underreaction. I mean, she kind of spiked you. I mean, she's given you a kind of medicine against your will. I mean, I think she's lucky. I don't think it would be a crime. I mean, I don't know where they're from. If they're from the UK, obviously, like date rape, you can't as a woman rape a man just because to commit the offense. This is definitional, by the way. This isn't like a point of view or opinion. The term for itself, like the definition is, a person commits an offense if he intentionally penetrates a vagina, anus or mouth of another person with his penis and the other person doesn't consent and they don't believe that the other person consents. So if there's no penetration on the victim with a penis, it's not rape. Just wanted to clarify that wasn't me like expressing a personal opinion. That's just having studied law. I'm obviously aware that that's massively controversial. I mean, the closest thing it could could potentially be a sexual assault. So that's if A intentionally touches another person and it's sexual, and B doesn't consent to the touching, and A doesn't reasonably believe that B consents. But I don't think this would apply here either, because I think because the guy barely drank any Viagra, it wouldn't have taken any significant effect. And also Viagra, I think, just increases blood flow to you. I don't think it makes you more turned on. And so I don't think you'd be able to persuade a court that this guy didn't consent to the sex. You know, if the Viagra is not creating sexual desire or doesn't change your capacity to consent, I don't think there'd be a sexual offense here. You know, like just as a comparison, like a date rape drug would incapacitate you, it would remove your ability to consent. I think the administering Viagra without his consent, that would probably be the closest thing that you could get her done for a crime for. So this is offenses against the person. And I think it would be these sections 22 to 24. But even then, I don't know. Okay, so section 22 is chloroform and similar ones, but this has to be chloroform, laudanum, and other stupefying or overpowering drug, matter, or thing. And I don't think Viagra would be stupefying or overpowering. The next section, 23, maliciously administering poison as to endanger life or inflict grievous bodily harm. Probably couldn't say that it was endangering his life or inflicting GBH on him. This is probably the closest, section 24, maliciously administering poison with the intent to injure, aggrieve, or annoy. And that's the same as the Crime and Policing Act, the administering harmful substances, so like including by spiking, but it's got to be a harmful substance with the intent to injure, aggrieve, or annoy. And I don't think the sex would come under any of those three. And that's, I mean, this is the thing about studying law. This kind of stuff would happen all the time. You kind of have this like overpowering intuition that something is going to be illegal because like it's grossly immoral, and you're like, of course there's a provision for that. And then something like this comes up and you're like, well, it wasn't done to injure, aggrieve, or annoy me, so then it's not an offense. How can that be right? I mean, to be fair, it's been years since I've studied offenses against the person, so I mean there could be provisions I'm not thinking of or that I'm not aware of. Obviously, if I was set this as a legal essay, I probably would have done a bit more in-depth research and analysis, but my initial suspicions are that she actually might not have committed an offense, which again just seems egregious. But yeah, also I guess it doesn't really matter whether it was illegal or not. The overarching question is whether this person's overreacting, and obviously not. I just felt like doing a bit of a mini deep dive because I know you guys like that sometimes, and I personally find it interesting, and I hope some of you guys found that interesting and are still watching. Also, any lawyers or law students, let me know what your take is. Let me know if there's a provision I wasn't aware of, or if you have a different interpretation, maybe a bit of interesting case law. Maybe there's some case law that goes like this kind of stuff is with the intent to aggrieve, that is aggrieving. Anyway, let's see what the comments are saying. You're not overreacting, of course. If a male friend of yours or a male family member came to you saying their girlfriend did this, how would you react to it? What advice would you give them? It just isn't right or okay, dude. I think it's a proper reaction that she's now your ex, because what she did was just plain wrong. And it's funny because her now being the ex isn't a reaction to this, which is the crazy thing. He's now the ex because the guinea pig took on his negative energy and said that he was the source of negative energy in her life, which is just so bizarre. But anyway, she could have communicated with you about potentially taking it in the future instead of slipping it into your drink. Also, isn't this a form of assault? You would know better than me with working in law enforcement. Oh yeah, okay. Well, obviously I was on, you know, the judiciary side and looking at it from a legislature side. What about executive? The thing is, the way the law is written in my state is gender specific. When I did report it, she resigned. But after consulting with prosecutors and magistrates and poring over the verbiage of the law for my state, we came to the realization that as a man, I cannot be a victim of any type of date rape/rape. Okay, so from state, I'm guessing this is in the US, but I'm guessing it's similar to the way it is here. It's still against the law to put a drug in your food or drink. It's assault. Drugs like this can have massive side effects on your heart and circulation system. Yeah, in the UK, well, probably go under battery in the UK rather than assault. Intentionally applying unlawful force. Curious what state this person's in now. Feel like I could spend ages on this, but I won't bore you by going back to legislation.gov again right now, at least. In the off chance your body reacted badly to the drug, you could have had health complications, including a heart attack. Now that definitely would end up with a charge. Definite crime when there's harm involved. I know I said I wouldn't, but I'm not. I'm just revisiting to drill the point. I just want to say if there was harm involved, like if his heart reacted badly or something, that would be the endangering life or inflicting GBH, grievous bodily harm. Then yeah, could have been locked away for 10 years. ABH, GBH. That sounds like this small amount didn't affect this guy. Anyway, we've been on this a long time. None of that really matters. Massive underreaction. Regardless of whether or not an offense was actually committed, this was a gross immoral thing for her to do. She's an awful person to be in a relationship with, so glad that's over. An awful person to be in law enforcement, and an awful person all around. So yeah, not overreacting, making it 4-0 to the not overreactors. All right, next up, am I overreacting? My girlfriend angrily grabbed my face. So my girlfriend, a 30-year-old woman, and I, a 30-year-old man, were on a road trip with some friends recently. For the last leg, her friend was driving and the two of us were in the backseat. That's kind of cute. Not one of them riding shotguns that they can sit together. The friend was going to drop us off at a train station and my girlfriend and I would get on a train to our town. The trip hadn't been as relaxing as we had hoped for and we were both a bit tired. About half an hour into the journey, I asked my girlfriend if she thinks we would have time for a meal at the train station before getting on the train. We had fought once or twice on the holiday, so I planned to treat her. She said we didn't have time and I said okay. Now, I honestly said okay as neutrally as possible. My girlfriend, however, heard a dismissive, passive-aggressive okay and immediately lost it. She hates feeling disrespected. She started whisper fighting with me, saying things like, "How dare you talk to me like that? And you need to think really hard about how you want to treat me." I froze for a couple of reasons. Firstly, when she goes nuclear like this, not often, but 2 to 3 times a year, it feels like anything that I do or say is liable to make the situation worse. And experience seems to back this up. I've never successfully calmed her down from this state. Secondly, because it was so thoroughly unexpected. I was just asking about plans and the next thing I knew, this was happening. Thirdly, because it was in the backseat of her friend's car while the friend was driving us. I point blank refused to get into any kind of argument or disagreement in this kind of setting. I felt completely trapped and ambushed. So I was just staring straight ahead, drilling a hole into the headrest in front of me, when my girlfriend reached across, grabbed my chin and forcibly pulled my face to face hers and snarled, "Look at me when I'm talking to you." I can't really remember a lot of what happened after that, but I stayed silent and eventually the rest of the trip to the train station was silent. I was honestly kind of terrified and it's not the first time this has happened. About a year ago, we got into a fight whilst walking and when I tried to ask for a 10-minute break to cool down, which we agreed on as a cool down mechanism, she refused. When I said, "Okay, you're allowed to keep talking, but I will stay silent for 10 minutes and just walk to our destination," and tried to keep walking, she grabbed my arm and again accused me of being disrespectful towards her. I've told her if she ever touches me in anger again, the relationship is over. Am I overreacting or am I underreacting? I mean, yeah, your partner shouldn't be laying their hands on you like this at all. I feel like this is quite a clear mix of physical and emotional abuse. And also, arguably, you've done what you didn't need to do and gone, "Hey, you've done this once. I really didn't like it. Never do this again or the relationship's over." And she did it again. You set the boundary, you said if you cross this boundary, it's over. And she crossed the boundary. So if you leave her, you're not overreacting. It's exactly what you said you'd do. And given she treats you like this, you're so in the right for doing it. What do the comments say? She's physically, emotionally, and mentally abusing you. Get out. We would not even be debating this if the genders were reversed. Nobody's debating it with the genders as is. Dude, why would you stay in this relationship? Your girlfriend needs to be the person who brings peace to your life, not steal it. So right, life hurdles, difficulties. One needs a partner that helps one through those times, not causing problems. No, and I would have ended it there and left the relationship. She has issues that she has not dealt with. You're not a child, but you do you. Yeah, massively underreacting. OP deserves better. And imagine if they had kids or pets together. This kind of temper needs addressing urgently. Yeah, no one deserves to be treated like this in a relationship. If you leave, you're not overreacting. You deserve better, and so does everyone. And that brings it to 5-0 for the not overreactors on the final post. So yeah, again, let me know your thoughts on the post, on my opinions. Let me know if I missed anything, especially to do with the law. And if you want to catch another video just like this one, please do hit subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Either way, thanks for watching. Bye.